Metamorphosis, the biological process by which a nymph, which is a subadult, immature organism, changes into a fully grown, fully mature adult. What a powerful metaphor and what an apt comparison to use for a speech idea, especially it could be great for any speech, but especially so for a path completion, reflect on your path speech. That title alone and that theme caught my attention, as I'm sure it did all of you, my dear fellow Toastmasters and leaders gathered over here, when our speaker, Toastmaster Anita, used the metaphor of metamorphosis to chart and to illustrate her journey as a Toastmaster and her journey of development through this path of visionary communication. So, having begun with something so powerful as a title, I was now fervently looking forward to better and more things in the speech. And our speaker, Toastmaster Anita, did not disappoint because she brought in the hallmarks of a classic speech and a masterful speaker. She opened very well. It was a conversation she opened with. Have you ever walked up to the mirror in the morning and asked yourself a question? That powerful question instantly hooked us, instantly brought us in because it was a intimately recognizable action that we've all gone through. She narrated her own story in terms of what that one instance meant for her, and that became the platform for her speech of developing from something into something else. She also took us into a slight detour into her new club or new chartered club journey. And the third, and perhaps the most interesting, most arresting point in the speech by Toastmaster Anita for me, as I'm sure it was for you, my dear Toastmasters, was her use of her anagram, pop talc, to illustrate what she learned during this path and how she learned it. And if you noticed, my dear fellow leaders, of how she structured that pop talc, every single acronym to a very particular point of development, peppered, garnished, and illustrated with her own experience and story during her development through the path. These kind of elements make for an incredibly masterful, interesting, and engaging speech from which not only do the speaker share their view, the audience and listeners also take back many useful messages. If I was to recommend a couple of things that Toastmaster Anita could incorporate into her speeches to make them even more beautiful, into the the butterfly that she rightly deserves to be, there are a couple of things. One is when you begin this, when you're handed on the stage, start the speech. That first opening line is of incredible importance. Do not waste it on, can you see my presentation? Am I here? Like hello timer and all of the stuff. These are things you need, and these are things you need to have done already on the background. Once you take the stage, the first thing you do is start your speech with the first opening line. And the first opening line in your speech today could have been, have you ever walked into the mirror and asked yourself that question? Now imagine in your own mind, you beginning the speech like that. You would have amplified the effectiveness of your speech and the draw of that speech multifold. So that is one aspect of that. Please lose, another suggestion that I have for you is, please lose any and all filler words and phrases. So what I am going to talk to you about today, or this is what I'm going to talk to you about today, may not come across as filler words, but they are really burdensome filler words. Please take yourself away from those unnecessary words, because we know you're there to deliver a speech. You're there to tell us about something. Just tell it. Okay. Third thing that you would want to take care of is Of course, virtual background notwithstanding, this is, of course, the theme and the spirit of the day. But please make sure that you're fully and completely visible online on the camera. Ideally, deliver your speech standing. If that may be a limitation, please make sure that you're fully present on the camera. So there's a lot of space above your head to the screen that makes you also look smaller. I practically cannot see our speaker very clearly on the screen, especially if it's on a small thumbnail. So make that small cosmetic improvement, and that again enhances your entire speech to the next level. To summarize, great masterful use of speech techniques, fantastic use of a anagram to illustrate your journey of growth, engaging personal style with a powerful opening hook when you open your speech, manage your filler words and content, manage your screen presence, as I said, and I am confident that you will sprout those beautiful wings for like the butterfly you are and go on to greater and greater success on the speaking stage. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Rajesh. Now,